Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to your daily lighting critique. You guys are ready for the weekend, I think, because we have only a couple submissions here, both by Jordan. And so I guess there's really no reason to go through them alphabetically, as we've got just Jordan. Okay, so I know we talked about this separately, and you were asking about if there was anything to do, and I was like, no, I think you're totally fine. I looked at it again this morning with fresh eyes, and there's one little thing that you can totally do in the comp, so it shouldn't affect your renders at all. It's just a matter of taking down some of the specularity in these plants and bars and stuff here. It's just like a little bit bright, and then trying to push the specularity a little bit more on there, and then watch out for there's some like magenta dots in there. Also, these down here could probably get taken down on their specularity. And if you want to push a little bit more in here. But again, very, very minor stuff. You don't need to repost it, but I do think it's in really, really good shape. And that's about it. Just one thing to watch out for. I guess this is just a render thing, but there's like a line that's going across here at the bottom that looks like it's slightly different. Like sometimes you see this when it's picking up a like it's like an old render and a new render, or the one on top isn't quite done yet or something like that. So just something to be aware of there. As far as your other image here, I think this is a good start. It feels oddly, it might just be low res, but it feels oddly like motion blurred, or just, I guess it's just low samples, which is totally fine. But just something, if you've got that set up that way, totally fine. So I think the position of the key light's good. I think that the overall feeling of the softness of it is working really well. But one thing that you need to counteract with that softness and getting good shaping coming across here and across here, and really working to get some softer shapes in there, is that with that larger radius of light, we've lost the tighter specularity. So I would try and push a little more specularity, not so much into the garments, because you can see it here, and you can see it in like the flowers and some other areas, but where you really want to push it into the skin tones, like, because you want to create some specular highlights in there. Because again, if she has a darker skin tone, the majority of their shaping won't happen in the diffuse, it'll happen in the specularity. So I would try and push some more of that in there. And I think that'll work out really well. But yeah, I think this is much, much more successful than what we were seeing in the last iteration. You might be even able to push it a little bit more over the screen left, but I think that's working really well. One thing to note is, again, when we're dealing with all of these different materials and shaders and textures, is just making sure that they're balancing together. And so the one thing that I'm seeing that isn't a problem yet, but could be, is the fact that her shirt is getting very bright before her skin gets very bright. So we may just need to bring down the overall color value on the shirt. Just like if we're going to push the skin a little bit brighter, we might just need to pull those in a new alignment a little bit more. But that's all I got for today. I think that, yeah, so for this one, I would push in the specular light from the key light, and just see how that goes. And then you could, because it's the weekend and that's kind of a small thing, if you want to start pushing in a sky dome into the scene too, that would be great. Either just a color or an HDRI map. Either one would be totally fine. To kind of give it that fill value and that second level of light in there. So I think that'll be a good step. If you guys have any questions at all or need anything, just let me know, and have a great weekend, everyone. All right, happy lighting.